Good morning, all of you. So today we are going to start a new topic like Hill-Witham traffic flow model. So this theory particularly based on the traffic signal design that how the intersection or a traffic signal is designed according to the theory and according to the traffic volume. So there are the four main contents. The first is a hydrodynamic model, shock waves, characteristic, and the Newell-Daganzo method. The Lighthill-Witham model is commonly used for the traffic flow. There are three fundamental variables. The first is a flow, Q, the rate at which a vehicle pass a point. So in the previous lecture, we were discussing the traffic flow and the traffic volume. Okay, so the traffic flow is that at a given time or at a given time and at a given point, how many vehicles are passing through a particular point. It is called the flow. So in the Lighthill-Witham theory, there are the three fundamental variables: the flow, the density, and the speed. So the density is mainly characterized the spatial concentration of the vehicle. The density is that is defined. Let's take an example that we have a 1 kilometer square area, and the number of vehicles are available in that particular 1 kilometer square area at that time. It's called the traffic density. So the traffic flow as well as the traffic density is a both the different point. The traffic flow measured at a particular point, where the traffic density is measured throughout an area or at the boundary area. Okay, and the last is the speed, the average rate of the travel. The speed is that how what is the travel speed of that particular vehicle, or after conducting a successive surveys, there is an average speed are obtained that the average speed of the 80 kilometers per hour that all the vehicles are passing on an average of 80 kilometer per hour on that particular lane or particular highway intersection. It is also useful to track and the vehicle number or cumulative count at a point. So with the help of the three fundamental variables, we can also distinguish the number of the vehicle which are available at that particular point. This quantity can be visualized on the trajectory diagram. So the time and the distance, the trajectory represent the contours of n, that how the particular vehicles are available at that particular point. That if the speed of the vehicle is higher, there are the less chances of the density in that particular section, and the traffic volume or the traffic flow is is generally a very fast moving or fast paced lane. Okay, so this quantity can be visualized on the trajectory diagram. The diagram shows the time and the distance. So lesser the time, higher the distance the vehicle are traveled. So this is the fundamental theory that if the vehicle are passing on the passing with a very high speed, so it will take a less time to cover the entire section or from the starting from one point to an ending point. The flow Q is the rate trajectories cross a horizontal line. So this particular line shows the flow rate. After the particular, after the increase, after saturation point or saturation speed, if any speed are increases or any vehicle, particularly any vehicle are increasing their speed, there is a no increment or decrement in the flow rate of that particular lane or particular section. So this kind of the diagram shows the trajectories cross a horizontal line. The blue line indicates the flow rate of the vehicles. The density K is the rate trajectory cross the vertical line. The how is the speed represented in the trajectory diagram. In a link model, we are often give initial condition density values at t is equal to 0, boundary condition flow rate at x is equal to 0, restriction on the flow rate at the downstream end. The task is to determine the outflows at the downstream end of the link. This may include the finding n, q, k, and u at all points x and time t's. We can treat this variable as a function of x and t. How this quantity is related to each other. Let's take an example. If I sit at the side of the road for 1 hour while cars are driving at the 70 miles per hour, if the density is 10 vehicle per mile, how many vehicle passes by? Okay, so the k is a so the density is 10 vehicle per mile and the speed is 70 miles per hour. So there is a demonstration of the fundamental relationship between the speed, flow, and the density. Q is equal to U into K. So Q is equal to vehicle per hour, U is equal to our speed, and the K is equal to density. So the units Q is equal to vehicle per hour is equal to mile per hour into vehicle per mile. Flow and density are related to the cumulative count. Q into Qxt is equal to delta n xt upon delta t, and kxt is equal to minus delta n xt upon delta x. If n is a twice continuously differentiable, delta square n upon dt is equal to delta square n upon dt dx. Therefore dq by dx plus dk by dt is equal to 0. This is a one way to derive the conservative equation. This equation holds everywhere that the derivative exists. Another derivation of the conservation law. So this particular figure shows that different trajectories like the flow rate and the speed and the time. So n xt is equal to n0, nxt plus dt is equal to n0 plus q dt, nx plus dx plus t dt, t plus dt is equal to n0 plus q dt minus k plus dk into dx. So this particular, after the solving that particular equation, del q by del x plus del k by del t is equal to 0. How are the flow and density related? If flow is 0, either k is equal to 0 or u is equal to 0. So if the flow rate is 0, either the density of the particular section is 0 or the vehicle are in the steady movement. If u is equal to 0, then the density is at maximum value kj, the jam density. So if u is equal to 0 or if the speed is 0, then we can conclude that in the particular section the vehicle are overcrowded, or there is a jam density, that all the vehicles are particularly stop at a particular section, and the speed is a 0. So if q is equal to 0, if k is equal to 0, or k is equal to k0, so after that we can say that, so if the flow rate is 0, there are the two possibilities. The first is the density is 0, that the vehicles are not moving, so vehicle are in the steady position or in the resting position. Okay, or the k is equal to k0 is equal, that means that the vehicle is in the jam density. The major assumption in the LWR model is that Q is a function of the K alone. K determines U. So KQ is equal to UK into K. Therefore, Q is equal to capital Q into K must be concave function with a 0 at K is equal to 0 and K is equal to KJ. So this particular diagram shows that if the flow is 0, so there is if the flow is 0, q is equal to 0, the first case is that the density and the vehicle are in the resting position, so the density is 0. But but if u is equal to 0, okay, so the flow is 0 but the vehicle's density are at the jam density kj. This is the fundamental diagram. The fundamental diagram can be calibrated to data resulting in different traffic flow models. Therefore, Q is equal to, also notice that there is a some point at which the flow is maximum. The maximum flow is the capacity Q max, which occur as a critical density Kc. So this particular point, it shows the Kc, where the Q is also maximum as well as the density is also maximum. We can get the speed information from the fundamental diagram. Q is equal to UK, so U is equal to Q by K. So this particular diagram shows this is same slope on the trajectory diagram. Some common fundamental diagram which also suggests the Lighthill-Witham theory, green shield model, Greenberg model, highway capacity manual, triangular, trapezoidal. What happens if something interrupt the flow? So this is a shock wave. Let's say one car stop for a while. What happens to the next vehicle? We can identify regions where the density is continuous. The boundaries between these regions are the shock waves. Okay, let's assume that first car is stopped, and what happens to the next vehicle? So this particular, if the first car is a stop suddenly, the successive vehicles are the stop at a particular section or the particular location. But due to that phenomena, the density or the road section is already occupied by that vehicle. Either it is a moving or it is a stopping or in the resting position. So this we can identify regions where the density is continuous. The boundaries between these regions are the shock waves. Okay, so this density or the vehicles are occupied the density, the section on the highway or in lane is a continuous formation that if the vehicles are in the moving position or at a resting position, the density or the section are occupied by the vehicle already. So this the boundaries are known as a shock waves. Let the label regions 1, 2, 3, 4. This particular diagram shows the region 1, region 2, region 3, and the region 4. So in the region 2, so in the region 2, the vehicles are in the resting position, but this is already on the lane or a road section. So this particular line diagram shows that there are the different four regions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the region 2, there are the jam density that the maximum number of the vehicles are resting at that particular section. And after that, uh, when the vehicles start moving after the stopping, in the region 3 and the region 4, there are the chances of the reduction in the density at that particular position or particular section. So this is kind of the mathematical equation that a QAB is equal to UAB into KA, UB minus UAB into KB, vehicle speed from the right relative to shock wave. This flow rate should be identical since the vehicle are not appearing or disappearing at the shock wave. Thus, the UAB is equal to QA minus QB upon KA minus KB. The slope of the shock waves on the trajectory diagram is the slope of the line connecting the points on the fundamental diagram. Okay, so the next topic is a partial differential equation formulation. So we will discussing this topic in the next lecture. Okay, so thank you.